Thank you for joining me today. My name is Jennifer and I am a Creative Memories advisor, and today we will be making a layout from page 92 of the 101 scrapbooking ideas and sketches. And we're going to be using two different collections today. We're going to be using Sunrays for Days and Candlelit from a promo back in 2023. So let's get started. And we are going to be doing from page 92. We're gonna go ahead and it'll have 4 different photos, and I'm actually gonna replace one of the squares or the tiles up here with an actual picture, and then I will have some journaling, a spot for journaling there as well. So we'll use our border maker. Slide that up for a second. Slide this in and quickly punch the waves. And let's see, if you've never used one of these before, these have been amazing. You flip out this gray piece underneath and you slide your paper in up to the edge. You push this down, pull that back underneath it, and then you punch away. And it cuts like butter. It's great. And I am gonna play with this element here. I'm not exactly sure where I want to cut it yet. I want the sandals to kind of go up right there, and then because there's so much of a gap here, I will probably trim it further down a couple of inches so that you can get the visual impact of some of the layering. And I may even play with popping this out a little bit for a little bit more dimension. Trim the squares up here to be the 3x4. So I am staying true to the size of everything that's on the page. So I'm just really looking to try to figure out where to place everything and how it looks the best. So we'll cut these real quick, throw them up here, and then we'll play around with it as well. And these were photos that I took at Clearwater Beach Park. I was there not too long ago with the soccer team. And surprisingly enough, none of the kids wanted to come with, so I went by myself and captured all my photos. So let's play around with this. You can kind of see the layout that I've got going on here. We're gonna mount some of these on some of the paper packs or the mat cards, and I'll need to trim these down a little bit. Same thing with the sunset photo. I'm trying to use up some of my extra supplies as well. One nice thing that I've noticed with Creative Memories is that a lot of their paper packs and collections can cross from one collection to another, so they're similar in nature enough, and that's why I was able to use kind of a Candlelight collection and a one of the summer collections, the Sunrays for Days. So kind of an odd combination, but it's nice to be able to try to use up some of your pages in that regards. And we're just gonna cover that background up there, so that one looks good. And I'll trim this one down. And on this one, I'm expecting the flowers to kind of peek out a little bit on the matte pack, but I'm okay with that. And I I do have an Epson Photomate photo printer, so I was able to get 2 images on one. For this layout, I decided to keep them together and not split them out, but you can see these two. I did split these out, and then it also had this one as well. So let's start attaching and see what happens. You can kind of see what I'm thinking of for embellishments and where I'm going to place them. Again, kind of staying true to the sketch, placing some stuff here, some here, and a couple pieces down there. And I don't want to overload or anything like that, so I want the photos to kind of take center stage and not necessarily all the elements on the page. So and I just kind of eyeball stuff. I don't get too hung up on having it be perfect. I mean, chances are you won't notice it once you get everything on the page anyway. Okay. So those, and I want this. We're gonna go to the back side. So they had, in the sketch, they had the journaling on the second tab over. I really kind of liked the photo in that spot, so I'm gonna figure out where I want those here. I really like the beach sand here in the middle, or in the second square, and then I can figure out where to put the journaling. May end up on this one right next to it, and I'm okay if I cover up some of the blue because it's a little bit more muted, and I typically will put white cardstock and I will do my journaling on the computer. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay this down. And you'll notice I started at the end and working my way inside so that in the event that the photo overlaps any of the pattern paper, I'm okay with that. And I don't have to worry about trying to get it to be perfect. I will just kind of center it over the two, kind of like that. Oop, probably need adhesive on it. A little crazy. I'll get this way. Okay. And then we're gonna figure out how to put that up in there. Okay. And then I didn't cut, these are 4x6 mats, so they will touch perfectly on here, so that'll work out well. And now I just gotta make sure that I move this bottom up enough so that I can get these photos on the page. And you can see in the sketch, they didn't leave a lot of extra room on the bottom, so we're gonna get probably pretty close to the bottom. We'll start adhering from here on up for certain elements. And I'm gonna flip these so that they're not right next to each other. Kind of looks a little bit unbalanced to me, so I'm gonna move this over here and this one here.
Don't mind me while I adhere some photos.
Looks good. So if we, let me line this up with this 13 by 13 mat. That way I have an idea of where I'm gonna put the ocean waves across and get those attached down. And then the shoes will just, the flip-flops will go right over it. So I think we're gonna put it right about the 9 and the 3 will be at the top of the waves. And you can see my cardstock isn't quite long enough, but it'll be just fine. I'm not gonna get too worried about it. Okay, then we're gonna space these with kind of a little bit of a mat above the bottom photos. Maybe about right like that. I got some crookedness again. And then we're gonna come in and we'll put that on top. I'm gonna leave a little bit more space, which I think it'll be just fine between these two photos. And then, like I said, I think I liked dimension, so I'm gonna put some foam adhesive on the back here to raise that up a little bit and give it some dimension. So, and I liked the big rolls of adhesive because they seem to go through it pretty quickly. The little squares were very convenient, but when you use a lot of it, I'm not afraid of dimension, so. Then we are gonna put that right there. Okay, then we've got, oh, I've got this one photo down here that was gonna sneak in there in between. And then I'm gonna put this little bike down here. It just seemed very fitting since it was like beach country. That it was easier to get around on bike or foot than it was in a car. Clearwater Beach was very busy at sunset. Granted, it was January, but it was very busy. All right, so that's kind of the shell of it. Now I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna do some of the embellishments. I'm not exactly sure where I'm gonna put all the hearts yet. I'm not typically a true heart person, but I was trying to use up some of my stickers, and you kind of see I cut all the stickers apart that I thought I was gonna use for this layout. And then I will add lots of dimension to the page as well with these too, just like I did with the flip-flops. I fussed around with my stickers until I was able to figure out where I wanted them and kind of how I wanted to adhere them and pop them up off the page. I'm kind of putting it towards the top, and you can kind of see here's my idea for my page. And so we've got a couple that we'll put over here, and I was thinking the bucket of sand and maybe some of the hearts. And then I've got 3 hearts left that I'm going to try to figure out where I can place them around in here. So I'm gonna keep working on that, and then we'll show you the final product. I'm putting on some of the finishing touches to the layout so then you can see it. I hope you enjoyed watching today and seeing how quickly this layout came together. Thank you for watching, and join me next time.